Hi, I'm Terry White, and welcome back to Design Your Life, the show that's hoping to inspire you to customize and design your life the way you live, not the way anyone else lives. Today's episode is all about copper, and we are going to have, toward the end of the show, a special guest. She is actually a copper artist, not a hack like me. But I'm going to show you a few of the copper projects that I've done in the house. I particularly like copper. I like the look of copper. I like the way it ages. But I also like the fact that I can work with it without maybe too many skills. Of course, you be the judge of whether I have any skills or not. I started a couple of years ago. I clad all of the doors, and these are pocket doors. They were a little more difficult than the rest, but I clad all of the doors in my house inside with copper because it was one of the few inexpensive things that the man who built this house did. Was he did Luan doors, and I just felt like they did not stand up to the quality of the rest of the house, and you could hear through them. I had all this copper laying around, so I decided to clad them. Let's go look at a few more doors. You've already seen the lamp. We won't even talk about that. But these were double doors. Idiot that I am, I didn't measure the thickness of the copper correctly because there are 4 thicknesses, and I only did 2, so I had to actually widen a concrete door frame by a 32nd of an inch to get these doors in here. But this goes back to the sleeping part of the house, and you can see all the doors are copper. Each one's a little different. I take a lot of artistic license. And then we're in the dining room, and I promised that we would revisit the dining room table. I made this dining room table for a Thanksgiving meal. It only took me about 24 hours to actually make the table, but it took me another year after that to hand drive 6,600 small copper nails into this. And on our wine meter of how long a job takes, you'll see a case of wine sitting here on the table. This was definitely a case or more time-wise. And on the right, we have the copper table that we used in a previous episode when I was showing you how to enlarge a table temporarily just for a few more guests or for a party. But let's go outside and I'll show you the largest one. This is another copper top that I made. It's a lot like the 48-inch in that it's sort of leaf themed, but you can't really see it probably with the camera, but I cut these leaves out once for a very important, wonderful dinner party celebrating a friend of mine's birthday, and I wrote with a stylus in the copper each person's name, and they were my name cards. So this table, if you look through it, you will see random names on a few of the leaves. But we're going to just move the centerpiece over. This is the table that I keep out here all of the time. But then I'm just going to roll this table in position. Instant social distancing or larger dinner party. But those are a few of my copper projects. Now let's go meet Karla Deal. She is an actual artist. I consider myself a hack. As promised, here's my friend Karla Deal, the real copper artist amongst us. And she brought a few of her things with her. I'd love for her to talk about, but I'm just amazed already just in the colors and the patinas that she can get out of copper. You know, this is what a real artist can do with copper. Tell us about a few of your little things, your projects.
Okay, thanks, Terry. I'm glad to be here today. Primarily what I brought today were pieces that you could use outside, hence the birdhouse.
That wouldn't be because I live outside, would it?
It would be. I like my outside pieces better than the inside most of the time anyway. But here's a copper planter. These come in any size that you want. It can be made to fit any space you've got, and the colors also can be done to coordinate with your interior or exterior spaces, because these can be interior or exterior.
I see for exterior use, you have used pressure-treated 3/8 inch or
3/4 inch.
3/4 inch plywood on the inside, which should make it last for quite some time.
It does, and then I seal it with a water sealant and put holes in the bottom, and then even spray it once the copper's on, spray it with a water sealant. So
you're on this.
I've got one at home that's been sitting outside for 4 years, and it still kind of looks the same.
Yeah, it probably looks better.
Yeah.
To be honest, knowing copper.
It does.
Well, I'm really intrigued with this table.
Oh, thanks.
The top to it is really phenomenal.
Yeah, these tables, the C-shaped tables, can be used indoors, and if it's going to be used outdoors, it needs to be primarily under cover.
But it's the best design for a cocktail table.
Yeah.
And we do cocktails here at this house.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm thinking it's a great table for a wine glass and a cheese spread, but it can be used as a TV tray. It can be used as an entrance table. It can be used for a sofa table. That's what a lot of people have bought them for. But
well, tell me about the blue color that you have in here, this very, very bright medium blue tone.
that blue, honestly, is the easiest color for me to get.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now, is it a paint or is it a chemical reaction?
It's a chemical reaction.
Okay.
Everything I do is a chemical reaction, and the way that I get the blue is when I submerge a piece of copper in the chemicals, which are mostly ammonia. Anything that's not immersed in the ammonia will collect this blue color.
Ah.
And then, quite honestly, if you want to turn it black, you can just torch it after it's turned blue.
Wow. I've already learned something that I will utilize in my copper adventures, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all. I love seeing what other people do with it.
Well, I did want to show, I'm almost embarrassed. I made or repurposed a copper lampshade into a pot.
I think it's beautiful.
It's just as simple. I cut out the harp and everything. A friend of mine is in the event business, and these were dented terribly. And I got the worst of the dents out, and just thought they'd make great pot covers, especially for somebody who likes copper as much as I do.
You did an amazing job getting the dents out, because that's not easy to do.
It's from a 50-year-old rolling pin. I cut the end of the rolling pin off so it would fit inside there, and then rolled and hammered the rolling pin into the copper.
That's a great idea. It looks good.
But that's it. That's our copper episode. I would love to hear from you if you have questions for Karla or for me. We would love to set you straight onto your adventures with copper as well. Until next time, this is Terry White. Every episode should end with a cheers. Cheers, Karla.
Cheers.
Thank
to
you,
Terry.
so much for coming and enlightening me and hopefully our audience as well. We're making really good use of your table. It might have to stay here if my producer behind the camera doesn't steal it first.
It's gone.
If you would like more information on Karla's copper, visit her website at copperismycanvas.com or on Instagram @CopperIsMyCanvas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.